Hi everyone, this is Dr. Sarah Yu, show host Dr. Sarah Yu Show, as well as Dr. Sarah for U.S. Senate Show, as well as broadcast TV show, The Right and the Vision TV show. Today I have a great, my friend is Mikkel coming to our show. How are you, Mikkel?
Very good. Very good. Thank you so much for having me here, Sarah. I'm looking forward to today's conversation. Should be a lot of fun, and hopefully I can educate and inspire some of your audience.
Oh, great, great. So, tell me about your background, where you're from, and education, working history, recent, career experience,
Sure. For my story, I have to go quite far back in time, you can say, but I'll try to keep it as concise as possible. So when I was a child, I was actually diagnosed with a learning disability. And what happened, Sarah, was they pulled me out of school one day, pulled me out of class, and they sat me down in a little room and they said, Mikkel, something doesn't work quite right in your brain. And what we want to do is send you to a special school for special boys. So that's what they did. Every day for 3 years, I got on a little white bus, took a little white bus across town, and I went to this quote unquote special school. The only problem was it was actually not a special school, it was a special class. So you can probably imagine what happened. I got in a ton of fights and got picked on and bullied, and it was all around a pretty bad experience. But, anyways, after 3 years, I got to go back to my neighborhood school, and I was very excited. And I thought, this is going to be amazing. My friends will have missed me and so excited to see me. But once again, you can probably imagine what happened. Everybody started gossiping and whispering. And, oh, I remember Mikkel, he went to some retard school. Thank you. Children are very sensitive. You know how they are. Very kind, of course. But it left a very bad taste in my mouth for public education, and I stopped going. And then when I stopped going to school, I would fail, and then I would somehow get into summer school, and then I would fail that, and they pushed me along. But long story short, I stopped going to school when I was 12 years old, and I officially dropped out when I was 15. And I started traveling internationally not long after that. And when I started traveling the world, Sarah, I started to meet all these incredible human beings, these people who were living their lives and learning things and doing things so very different than I ever saw in Southwestern Ontario. And I felt like these were my people, like my peeps. And this is what I wanted to do was to explore the world. And that's what I've done for every day for 23 years now, 23 years straight. I've been out there exploring and traveling the world. So I've visited well over 100 countries. I've lived in 9 different countries. And I've circumnavigated the globe over 400 times. And I have learned a lot about business and immigration and taxation by doing these things myself and what we call geo arbitrage or flag theory. And that's what I do now. I help other people figure out these types of things, and then I work with high net worth individuals, and I move them to different countries for freedom, for liberty, for prosperity, and just for a bit of fun and adventure. And it's amazing. I love my work very much. It's started out as a passion project and has built into 7-figure business and doing very, very well. We have a huge following and helped literally thousands of people move to other countries and deal with all of these tax and legal issues and all of these types of pieces of the puzzle, you could say. So that's kind of a bit about my background, and my education, you could say, is more of a hands-on than an academic one, but really how I got into this field, I suppose.
Oh, great, great. You talk about what is your achievement during your work serving peoples now? Yeah.
Yeah. So as I had said, I work with high net worth individuals. So what would happen is a Canadian or American, maybe Europeans as well, but mostly Canadians and American families who do not like what's happening back home right now and want to move to a new country. So what does that look like? Which country is it? What are the tax consequences of leaving the States or Canada? What are the tax consequences of entering into a new country? What are the residencies or citizenships available to them? Where are they going to live? Where are their kids going to go to school? All pieces of the puzzle. I don't deal with relocation in the sense like I don't deal with shipping containers and your couch or stuff like this. I deal with the esoteric piece of the puzzle. But basically work as a consultant and advise clients on different countries and how to go about it. You're on mute, Sarah.
Great. Your country is not require any license to all those legal things you do, like investment. It's like in America, I needed to broker license or agent realtor, as well as do immigration consultant, and then any legal expert. We need to have the license. So, what about your country? And yeah.
So that's a very good question. I have full-time lawyers who work for me. I also joint venture with other lawyers. I outsource a lot of the legal work to them. So I'm not filling out paperwork or giving legal advice or anything like that. I consult with people on other countries and where to live and all the lifestyle aspect. And then I outsource all of the legal work to team members, you could say. So everything is compliant and above board and kosher with everything that we do. As for US law, I mean, I'm not afoul of any of those types of things by running this type of business.
Okay, so how about your fee? Like usually, how much you charge for the client? Example, you said you are from America, from any other country to move to another country. It's usually they are very interesting to what include your the service, and as well as how much is usually to they need expecting to pay your team. Yeah.
Sure, of course. My fees are in the 5-figure range. It depends on the individual case, of course. I always quote for a year's worth of consulting. We block it out in years, 12-month timeframes. That's more than enough time for us to work through things and to look at it. But if bureaucracy's in the way or things take longer, I always extend. I'm not looking to cut people off. What I want is people to feel safe and feel secure and get things done. I don't want it to be, I don't want to ever add to someone's stress or anxiety about moving to a new country. So I try to always be there and support them through the entire process. Does that make sense?
So okay, great. And then as well as I been travel many times, many country. Like you do, but it's a little less than you. So you said over than how many country? I think we have 190 country. So in the world, how many country you visited?
So there's 193 countries
Yeah,
recognized by the
93
United
country. Yes.
Nations.
Yeah.
I've been to, I think we're at 110, 111 countries now. So I've been traveling for well over 20 years now. And many places I've been to multiple times. Like you and I were talking, I've been to Korea well over 50 times. I've been to Germany probably close to 20, 30 times. I've been to China 15, 20 times. I've been to Switzerland, God, I don't know, 15, 20 times. So many places that I've been multiple times. Just in the last couple of weeks, we were in Dominican Republic, we were in Jamaica. I was in Uruguay twice last year, Brazil once, Argentina, Peru, Aruba, Turkey, Lebanon, Cyprus, North Cyprus, Italy. Probably go to about 10, 15 countries a year, either for business or for work or even just for fun and pleasure with my family. So still love travel very
So,
much.
yeah, example, you go to like Switzerland in your work. So what usually you do spending, tell us to what your service, and you go to the another country, usually, yeah. to
Well,
a
usually when I
relation.
go
Yeah.
to, usually when I go to a new country, like sometimes I'm just going for vacation. Like when we went to Dominican Republic, we took the kids and, very easygoing um trip just with the kids and with the family and stuff. But most times when I'm going to a new country, what I'm looking for is a new expat destination. So somewhere that people can actually live, where Canadians and Americans would actually want to spend a decent amount of time. I meet with the law firms there. We're dealing with the tax situation. So I'm learning about the taxes there, the real estate, the investment opportunities, how to bring people in on the immigration. I can give you a real life example. So at the beginning of 2022, I had a couple of clients who came to me and started asking me about questions for Uruguay. And at that point, I had never been to Uruguay in my life. Obviously, I had heard about it and I'd read about it, but I had never been there. So I got a professional referral from someone that I trust down to a law firm there, and got an introduction, started talking with them, and met the CEO. He introduced me to the head of immigration, head of the legal department, et cetera, et cetera. Had a half a dozen calls with them. They flew their CEO up to Panama, spent a half a day with him building the relationship. Then they invited us down to Uruguay. So my wife and I flew down there for a week, rented a vehicle, toured the country, many meetings. Then, once we felt comfortable about things and it looked like a good option, I brought down a group of about 20 investors down to the country. These were people who are looking to get their money out of Canada and the United States, want to move it into a new jurisdiction, new currencies, new type of product. Brought them down with me, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, show them the country, meetings with all of the lawyers. And now some of them are in the country today, actually, as we speak, doing their immigration. So they've gone back another time. So these are the types of things that we would do in my organization. A lot of the countries that we visit are because because the clients themselves have requested to learn more about that place. So I always go through it myself first. I always look at it myself first, and then kind of go from there if I think it is a good fit. And many times it's not a good fit. Maybe sometimes it's a terrible option for expats. So, but it's a lot of trial and error, and it's a lot of piecing things together. And it's a lot of things that cannot be done just from reading books. A lot of it has to be done boots on the ground type of experience, you could say. Does that make sense?
Oh, great. Great. So I am an immigration consultant myself, on the global immigration, investment company as well as legal company. So they have motivation, right? Everything they decision to changing their dual citizenship. So what is best motivation to why they move from America to another country? And then, so tell me that, yeah.
So what happens with a lot of people is they don't like the direction that their home country is going in. There has been a lot of woke ideology that has come out in the United States and Canada over the last few years. And most of my clients are very much against this. They don't subscribe to these ideas. They want something a lot more traditional, a lot more conservative. And Latin America ticks the boxes for a lot of these types of things. These are very family orientated countries. You can go a bit backwards in time. It's a lot less progressive in these places. And that's what people are looking for. My people are looking for family values. They want more traditional type of things. And Latin America ticks a lot of those boxes for the people. So, it's voting with their feet, as Milton Friedman would say. You know, this is human flight, this is capital flight, and there are other countries who have open arms and welcome business owners and entrepreneurs and productive people into their country. And it's amazing to be able to help people to really build their life, their dreams on that speaks to their value system, you could say. And a lot of my people never thought that they would have to leave Canada or the United States. They thought that this would be their country forever. But for most people, it's just not. It's just not the reality. Just not the reality of what they grew up with.
Great, great answer. So, you know, myself also went to several like 14 Europe country because of investment, because I'm also learning real estate company as broker and developer. To like in America, many people they wanted to go to you know, foreign country like Europe and I think the reason is you know they wanted to like elderly their elderly life they wanted to more like less expense to they want to spending and also you know they want to experience to foreign country cultural like differentiation. So my question is in your service many people how they take management those cultural adoptance as well as they are dual citizenships. They have a distance management because they fly to their own country and second country. I think also there is a several or not only cultural, not only you know the distance management. I think they need the legal and any legal and systems they needed to adopt it each countries because they are living two country as well as they need another one is you know threatings many like political threatening and economic threatening is because in COVID-19 is more serious different level of economic level in America and go to the another country like you guest you said from you know from America, from Canada, is their wealthy country. I think that they are very success people to you know. So I want to know that how your programs, your service to can support those cultural adaptance, distance management, as well as you know legal like economic threatings, as well as you know those all kind, you know, the legal system is different. So how you support that? Yeah.
Sure. So you are absolutely right. Now, when you're moving to a new country, there are very different cultural aspects that go into this. What I am always trying to do is help adapt someone to the local country and culture. I think that is a big difference between expats and, say, digital nomads or these types of people who will just come in for short periods of time and then leave. I am always encouraging people to have local friends, know the local population, the history, the culture, learn the languages, the food, understand how people think, the mentality. This is not about going to another country and trying to have the country adapt to you. I mean, that is a recipe for disaster. You have to learn to adapt and bring yourself into this country and assimilate with how things are done. Now, there are always going to be challenges. There are going to be things that you find difficult, but understanding what some of these cultural differences are before you arrive will mentally prepare yourself. Studying and learning about the place in advance is always helpful. But then nothing is going to really help as much as actually like time on the ground, boots on the ground. And when people come down to these countries, what I want them to do is to try to assimilate as fast as possible, because otherwise you have what's called the expat bubble. So someone would be coming into a country and only becoming friends with other expats, other Canadians, other Americans, or other Western Europeans. And once you get into that type of expat bubble, it can be very difficult afterward to break out of it. So, you know, you have to be very careful, especially those first couple of months, who you spend time with. So we try to advise on the lifestyle aspect. We're also trying to pick the country based on the person's likes, wants, and needs. So we're trying to already match a country, a culture, an area with something that is going to speak to them. So we spend a lot of time in our first calls together going through these things. Like, I start every consultation call with a blank piece of paper and a pen. Like, I don't have anything to quote unquote sell. I'm not there's not a specific place that I'm trying to get people to go to. I live in Panama, but that doesn't matter for my client, if they want to come to Panama, great, I can help them with that. But if they want to go to Portugal, if they want to go to Thailand, or they want to go to Uruguay, like we were talking about earlier, then I can help with all of those types of things. But it's always going to be, all right, let's do the preamble work at the beginning, the pre-work on trying to match up the country. But then when you get to the country, actually incorporating and giving the country a chance and learning all these things. So that's kind of a roundabout way to answer your question about culture, but I hope that that kind of makes sense how we approach it at my company.
Yeah, so we have time limited, so I think many people they can go to your podcast as well as YouTube. Yesterday I watching your YouTube like three the episode. It's good things to know many new things, idea. So the next question is that when myself, I do immigration consultant, invite people to from overseas. To I have a campaign closer to United States. So we have a 2 months, up to 2 months, like 60 days, they come to America and then they can uh, cultural adapters and any, they wanted to see the business, they want to buy the business or like real estate. We have those campaign, we provide the residents to client 2 months eating together and have a knowledge together. And then, immigration processing, we have an attorney or the professional license working with me. So we have those kind of system to 2 months, to we own the several property that we can stay people experience. So you have a special program to, because it's not easy to people just call you to decision what you said, even you have many years experience, but it's not their experience. So I think, do you have any program to, or future program, if you don't have today, future program to able to, your prospective client or someone who wanted to experience short term to, the second, country, they wanted the citizenship or they want to get the passport or any other like legal or immigrations, foreign policy, any they wanted to know, right? They wanted to have confirmed that it's safety, secure, their life decision. So what is you have any campaign like us, tell us that, and as well as what advice, before they even you don't have that kind of program, tell us that what is advice to before they decision what step they needed to do.
Sure. So I guess first off, people can visit our website at expatmoney.com. We have a weekly podcast that's been going for almost 7 years now, so well over 200 episodes. We've had people like Dr. Ron Paul on the show, Jim Rogers, Grant Cardone, lots of big name people on the program over the years. We put out a daily newsletter. I think we've got about 40,000 people on our email newsletter. There's daily blog articles that appear on the site, monthly webinars. We have annual conferences. We run trips together, in-person events. There is just a ton of things at expatmoney.com. As I said, this is a seven-figure business. We're full-time staff here. I think we're up to 18, 19 staff at the moment who are helping people. The main core of the business is the consulting service. So it is helping people to pick the country, figure out the plan, and understand all of the tax consequences and immigration issues that can arise. And then we have the full network of lawyers that we work with and partner with on all of these types of things and help people. So if you go to expatmoney.com, up in the top right-hand corner, there's a big orange button that says work with us. You can click on that. It'll take you to a letter. You can learn more about the products and services, what we do and how we function. Also about our philosophy and our business as a whole. And I guess that's probably the best starting point. But yeah, we work in well over 20 different countries around the world and are successfully relocating people literally every single day to a new country. So it's very good work, very interesting, very stimulating work, and I do enjoy it very much. And the result is terrific that we get people.
Oh, great. Very good information. So through your website, I look at that as many important informations we can get. Another my question is I know you have related some political leaders during I watching yesterday your show like Paul Lyon or the congressman on the speech your stage. So what is your goal to like each country has a political policy as I'm a candidate US Senate in your view what do we need to fix in foreign policy or like when you working in your jobs what American can help you to foreign policy or political view of what you think.
Sure. I am very much an anti-war standpoint on these types of things. I've visited so many countries in the world, and I have seen the how to say politely the response from some of the foreign policies. I'm very much against these things. I really would prefer the Swiss type of model of peace and neutrality. As I said earlier, I've been to Switzerland many times. I'm very much a fan of their political system with the cantons. It's very much a decentralized type of system. They have similar to what we have in the United States in different states, but the federal government has a lot less power in a country like Switzerland than the canton type of state government, you could say. I am all about freedom and liberty and peace and prosperity. That's kind of where I live, a live and let live type of mentality, you could say.
Oh, great. And this may last question. For what is your strong point to make a change this world as well as what is your value service? Because we give value to the client, right? So tell about that, yeah.
So if you're talking about a value system, I follow what's called the non-aggression principle, which basically says, do all that you say you will do and do not encroach on other people or their property. For me, this is not a political ideology or anything like that. This is a moral obligation that we all have. The sister to the non-aggression principle is personal responsibility. I am very, very much for personal responsibility, and I'm very against victim mentality or any type of this woke ideology that we see out there in the world right now. I really honestly despise it. I think it's just sickening what's happening. People not taking responsibility for their own actions, expecting other people to do everything for them. They don't want to work or to contribute. Everything is victim mentality. I really do not stand for this whatsoever. So every time that I am moving someone to a new country, it's not so that they can go there and take advantage of the system. I want people to contribute to drive the economy through business and commerce and free market enterprise, and take responsibility for themselves when they move to a new country. It's kind of sad what we've seen over the last few years and people's behavior.
Oh, great. And so thank you for joining our show. And I wanted to, everyone visited his podcast and YouTube as well as the website to know more about his information and service. Do you have any last message to my audience? Yeah.
No, it's been wonderful. Thank you so much for having me, Sarah. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity. Happy to try to help any of your subscribers or listeners. If you guys go to expatmoney.com, you'll find out tons more information about what we do, about the programs, how we're helping people. There's also a ton of free information on the website. So even if you're just starting to learn about these things or just want to dip your toe in the water and see what's out there, there's a lot of resources on there for free for you.
Grateful you are coming my show, and thank you so much your time today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.